Wow, this is gonna be a video. On several occasions, have been asked, Tori, why is it that you know almost every single word to every single Nicki Minaj song ever released? Starting with Beam Me Up Scotty mixtape. Oh, and then into like unreleased tracks and B-sides. Oh, and then songs that she's like guested on, like, Robin Thicke or Big Sean. Oh, without sounding too dramatic. It's probably gonna reveal like why it's been so hard for me to get over. What happened? Normally I'm able to just get over things, or like something's really bad or something's really negative in my life. You just ignore it, or you get rid of it, or what, you just. You take the power away from it. Who's going in a whole different direction? Let's see. The reason I love Nicki Minaj so much, and she won me over immediately as a fan. After being completely obsessed with Britney for like 10 years. Well, a lot of her dances. Every song went forward, no questioning that. Okay, so let's get it going. Nicki Minaj, I discovered her when I was in the hospital. After my ex Jacob beat me up pretty bad. I'd done a movie. I had a child in my life, a son, who was just completely one of the most amazing things that ever happened in my life. I mean, to wake up and be able to turn on a child's cartoons, or have them remind you to make them cereal, or walk them to the park, or like bring them on a big toy. With him, it was like I had God had handed me like a perfect pill, if you will. No cussing, no substances, no drinking, nothing like that. None of that was even questioned. I mean, nothing. It just wasn't happening. I would bark at people if they started to cross the crosswalk too early, like a yellow light. If he was standing next to me, I would have died for that child. I would have done anything then, anything. He just meant the world to me. He was one of the most special things that ever happened to me. He wasn't even my child. I know I only knew him for like a year, but I liked who I was so much in that relationship with my ex. So, I don't know. You can go ahead and call me crazy, call me an idiot. Call me a stupid fucking faggot for all I care. But I put up with being beat up. I mean, beat up for almost a year by that person. Because I could. Because I thought, not that necessarily he would change, but that, I mean, yeah, that he would change, but not in the sense that I needed him to change. I mean, that he would fucking grow a pair and be like, I am a grown-ass man hitting a person who loves me and cares about me. What the fuck am I doing? Why am I beating up my boyfriend? Why am I beating up someone who would do just as much for me as he would for my son? ever do anything, he would lay his life down. Why am I beating him up to the point of him bleeding across the floor? Why am I beating Tori up? Why am I doing this? But no. He never wanted to face it. He never wanted to do anything to face it. And that baffled me. I did it. And I was pretty proud of my character. I was pretty proud of the person I was. Because I was a good person. I was an amazing person. Not that I'm not now. But there wasn't much to change. And it changed so much. If it had even the slightest inclination of being dark or too much or too bad or what. And he couldn't stop hitting me. I didn't understand. I thought there had to have been something wrong with me. Because I'd never loved someone so purely. Not even knowing how or why it worked the way it worked. But I loved him, and I loved his son more than anything in my life at times. So I had to put up with it. I had to put up with it hitting me. And I did it, and I kept it a secret, and I was called a liar. You understand? This wasn't like... It was sort of like random spouse abuse that you hear about when a woman's like, oh, I fought back, I tried, like, I tried to get away. I never did. Because I loved him so much. And I could never hurt anybody. I would be scared to put up my hands. Because I was afraid he would hit my hand wrong and hurt himself. That's how non-violent I am. You know, there's a reason that his son would wake me up in the morning. There's a reason his 3-year-old would want me to take him to the park. It would be Telly this, Telly that, Telly. And if I said for 1 second, you know, oh, can you go ask Daddy this time? Or in the morning, just go, oh, yeah, Daddy, let me go this morning. He would just go, nope, no, Telly. And he would stick his nose on my nose like this, and he would go. Until I got up and did whatever he wanted me to do. I didn't care. I loved it. It made me feel like I wasn't just an actor who done a movie. I was not an actor who's a good actor. I was a person who was a bright, shining light in an innocent little life's eyes. And I wish that kid knew what kind of force he had standing behind him, because I would have changed the world for him. I would have pushed the world into the next galaxy for him. Anyways. I was in the hospital. Blood popped out of my stomach. Getting a CAT scan done on my head to make sure there was nothing wrong with me. Brain damage after the times he beat me up. And I remember sitting there. I remember seeing the little laying there in the hospital bed. Just beat the fuck up. Bleeding. Nurses coming peeking at me to see all the like damage that Jacob had done to me. And remembering that time he was yelling at me, you know, hit me back. And I'm going, I can't hit you back. You're not a man, hit me back. You just hit me even more. And I sat there and I looked at my life. And the things I should have smiled for, I should have smiled for, but I just couldn't. I remember literally thinking to myself in that bed, this is your life, Tori. And look at you. When push comes to shove, you can't even smile. And then on the radio, in the nurse's station, I heard, now if you see that itty bitty piggy in the market, give that bitch a quarter and a car, tell her pocket. I don't fuck with pigs like I fell on my lake up. I put him in the field. I just lost it. I started laughing. Right from the nurse station, I said, who the fuck is that? Like, who the fuck is that? What the fuck? Oh my god, I was laughing. And the nurse was like, kind of scared at first. She was like, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't have profanity. We're not supposed to have profanity over here at the nurse station. I'm so sorry. And I go, no, play it again. She was like, oh, honey, that's Nicki Minaj. And I had something, only 1 or 2 songs in the nurses in the hospital stay that time, but that I could listen to, and I laughed and I smiled and I thought, oh god, I want to meet this chick. I would like drink with her, like, and I hate drinking, I hate liquor, but I would just want to hang out with her for a night and just pick her brain and just like, because eventually she became something. In those headphones I would just put in, I would be bloody beaten up in the bed, being told to stay there. And if I tried to leave the bed or leave the bedroom, he would hit me again. And I would get blood on our wood floor, and he would say, get your blood off our floor. But I would sit there, and I would just let him beat me. In the beginning, and just listen to Nicki, and it made everything better. She made everything perfect. And then eventually, Nicki was the strength. The badass bitch, that cunt, and she'll kick that hoe punt. She gave me the strength I didn't have in me, which was to instead of letting him just choke me and not do anything about it, because if I tried to push his hands off when he would choke me into the ground, this is an example of one of the things he would do, then it would just be more of a struggle, more energy, and more time that I'd be being hurt. So eventually I would just let him choke me out until I passed out, because at least then I would pass out and I would wake up, it would be over. But when Nicki showed up with her music, with her badass bitch fighter music, I started to pull his hands away, which I never did before. The old Nicki do in this position, she wouldn't let this dude be hitting her. So I started pushing back. I never hit him back, but I would protect myself. She gave me that bit of strength that I feel like helped me survive. That's how Nicki saved my life. That's how Nicki Minaj saved my life. I believe I know she did. Because I would be dead right now if it weren't for her. I really believe that. I hope one day I get to tell her that, like exactly what she did for me. I think I will. So stop asking questions about why is it that, you stupid corny white boy, why do you know every single lyric to this woman's music? I just say, ting-a-ling-a-ling. Nope, I don't sting-a-ling. I just show him my middle finger ring. Nicki, I love you, Nicki, if you ever see this. And just know how much of an impact your music had on some person's life. Me. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Thank you more than I can ever say. Thank you.